If I was ever buying a Rolex, I would be more interested in the Explorer or what some call the entry-level Rolex watch, the Oyster Perpetual, or OP as it's often referred to, than the more commonly aspired to Submariner or various GMT models. And I've been lucky enough to handle them all over time. But you have to ask yourself, how willing would you be to drop an enormous sum of money on one, when 10% of the cost of an OP gets you something as brilliant as the Traska Commuter, which is a beautiful and classy option. This is my third model attained from the brand Traska that's been in operation since 2018, and once again it punches so far above its weight it's not even funny. I'm not going to claim that this is as good in hand as a Rolex, this is not a puff piece and I say what I want in my reviews, but credit where credit is due is my philosophy. The very latest releases now finally come with a very good quick adjust bracelet. And whilst the bracelet and the overall feel does not have the magic of Rolex steel, it is a seriously high quality release that has once again been iterated upon, with John and the team finding imperceptible details to slightly improve, such as ever so tighty tolerances, a decoupling crown that feels incredible in your hands, and the same hardening of the case and bracelet. I will also mention a brand new website that is quite the improvement too, with a combination of renders and photographs of all the various models. You can obtain this Commuter in both a 36 and 38 diameter, with and without a date complication. It's available in black, silver, red and this Adriatic blue. It was a tough choice for me since the silver looks brilliant, but as I mentioned, if I was to buy an OP it would likely be the blue, so this was a natural fit for me. If you're considering one, then stick around for a run through of the Traska Commuter 38 in Adriatic blue, reference 8232. The watch is delivered in a small box and a travel pouch. Nothing over the top, but I also don't feel like I miss out here. The dimensions are measured at 38.4mm wide, or 42 including the crown, and 46.1mm lug to lug. Lug width is 20mm and is 10.8mm thick, including the crystal. Sized up for me on bracelet, it weighs 128 gram and it has a reassuring water resistance of 100 meters. I like the wear on my 19cm wrist and I wouldn't want it any larger than possibly another millimeter to 39.5. Checking out the dial, it is worth pointing out that this shade of blue is only available in the 38. The 36 has the same steel blue as the Venture I've covered previously. In fact, the only color that's available on both sizes is the black. You could perhaps call this design a bit plain, but that's half the attraction to me anyway. It's all applied indices with plenty of lume, which I'll obviously come back to, and they are all very nice, but I did find one that had a few marks on it that, whilst it's not something you can see with the naked eye, would still not be pleasing to find on the loupe by a new owner. The only print we'll find here is the distinctive logo and word mark at just under the 12, which is a lovely knot and serif font at just the right size and automatic at just above the 6. I've talked about the meaning of the word Traska in previous videos, so if you're interested to know more about that, check out my Venture video. What I would like to focus on here though is this deep blue shade that is the perfect shade of blue in my book. It's dark, as in almost black, but in the right light you get that lovely sunburst blue that you'd expect to see. It's that dark blue seawater that is simultaneously gorgeous and frightening in nature. The hands slope up on either side and then taper off to a flat plane with brushed finishing, which the website states is done by hand on each one. It ensures legibility is excellent at all times. The needle seconds hand draws no attention to itself at all and has no lume applied. The box sapphire crystal is a lovely vintage feeling design with almost no distortion at all, and the clear AR coating underneath is effective in combination with the reflective hands. You'll never have issues reading the time. The surrounding fixed bezel is a brushed sunburst approach with mirror polished sides, and it may actually stay that way thanks to the aforementioned hardness coating of almost 1200 Vickers, which is about 6 times harder than standard 316L stainless steel that the case and bracelet is made from. This extends to the polished sides of the case and upper brushed parts, and my venture still looks new despite having lived a tough life in my travels. I think this is likely to stay the same. As mentioned, the crown is quite incredible these days. It screws down snugly and smoothly into the side of the Commuter's 100-meter water-resistant case, thanks to a decoupling mechanism that prevents it from winding the movement while being screwed down. A high-polished chamfer separates the coin edge portion from the embossed Traska logo on the outermost surface, and overall it's one of the best feeling crowns of any microbrands I've handled. The movement behind the plain back is Japan's answer to the Swiss ETA 2824 in the Miyota 9039. Traska regulates the movement in 4 positions, and you can expect 42 hours of power reserve, and in my experience typically no more than 10 seconds deviation per day. Now look, this bracelet is incredibly solid on the case with 0 flex and female end links. It's fully articulating, and you can adjust it yourself easily with screws that are clearly high quality. There are no quick release spring bars, but the drilled lugs makes it easy enough to take it off. It is oyster style and very comfortable, but it is very light, and that's on purpose. You might feel that it's too light and almost titanium feeling. So if you're one for heavy and solid bracelets, this is one to be aware of before buying. And if you're like me and slap everything on leather anyway, it matters not to us. The new micro adjust in the sign buckle gives you another 9mm or so, which in combination with the 2 half links means you will get the perfect fit. The pearl-arch polished clasp is still there, and I love this special Traska touch. The lume is very good, and I can see a huge improvement over previous models, and many other brands with hands that are brighter than the indices. Such a self-goal when this is the other way around, and it's a pet hate of mine. This design is clearly for those of us that enjoy plain, classic designs. And whilst it's again no match against the Rolex OP with their magic steel and of course amazing movements, it is also a watch you can wear without a worry in the world. Not just since it's a brand that is one of these if you know ones, but let's not forget hardening that Rolex doesn't offer. And a cost of 1,015 Australian dollars versus $10,200 for the OP. You've just saved your marriage too, which is a nice bonus. I am a huge fan of Traska for good reason. They make solid and beautiful watches at good prices. And the only real downside is that their models are often sold out, and that can be frustrating. I sometimes get comments on my Traska videos about why I bother reviewing when they can never be purchased. But I believe that the supply has increased now, so hopefully you can go forth and get yours after watching this video. The link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.